नमस्ते दोस्तों और आज के इस टाइम ट्रैवल मास्टर क्लास में आपका स्वागत है। Welcome everyone. Today we aren't just memorizing dry grammar rules. We're actually going on a bit of an adventure. Think of yourselves as time travelers, about to map out your entire future. We're going to decode exactly how to talk about things that haven't even happened yet. And we're going to do it without getting completely bogged down by confusing textbooks. We're keeping it highly practical, very visual, and most importantly, totally applicable to your everyday conversations.
So, here's our itinerary for today. We're starting with Section 1, Basics, looking at will versus going to. Then, Section 2 covers present tenses for the future. Next up is Section 3, the future in progress. After that, we've got Section 4, perfecting the future tense, and we'll wrap it all up with Section 5, the time clause golden rule. It's a step-by-step bilingual journey, so let's get moving.
Okay, Section 1, Basics, Will versus Going to. Let's dive into this right now. This is our very first stop, and it's the absolute foundation of future time travel. We really need to understand the core difference between these basic future intentions, because in English, one size definitely does not fit all.
तो चलिए सबसे पहला सवाल, tell me, what's your future plan? When you talk about tomorrow, do you usually say I will or do you say I'm going to? Honestly, people mix these up all the time. You probably use both interchangeably when you're just chatting with friends or typing out emails, right? But grammar actually has a specific, incredibly clever logic for each one. And knowing the exact difference doesn't just make you correct, it instantly elevates how confident and articulate you sound.
It really all boils down to exactly when the decision was made. Think about the word will as your go-to tool for split-second decisions. तुरंत लिया गया फैसला. You decide at the exact moment of speaking, completely spontaneously. On the flip side, be going to is your anchor. You use this one when you already have a prior plan, पहले से तय किया हुआ plan, or when there is rock-solid concrete evidence right in front of your eyes that something is absolutely about to happen.
Let's picture this scenario vividly. Imagine you're hanging out with a friend in your living room, totally relaxed. Suddenly, your friend rubs their stomach and goes, "Man, I'm really hungry." Now, you didn't plan for them to be hungry an hour ago, right? So in that exact split second, your brain registers the problem and you make a voluntary, spontaneous decision. You say, "I will make some sandwiches." It's an instant, generous offer. You wouldn't say, "I am going to make sandwiches here," because it just wasn't a pre-existing master plan. It was born right there in that very moment.
Now imagine a completely different scene. You step outside onto your balcony. You look up and see thick, heavy, terrifyingly black clouds rolling in. They're completely covering the sky. You feel a sudden drop in the temperature and the wind is rapidly picking up. Because you have concrete visual evidence right now, in the present moment, you absolutely must use going to. You confidently declare it is going to rain soon. The evidence is undeniable, you see? It's not just a random guess, it's a logical deduction based on exactly what your eyes are seeing.
Moving right along to Section 2, Present Tenses for the Future. Let's see how this builds, because here is where the English language gets a little bit sneaky and honestly a whole lot more interesting. Sometimes we don't even need future tenses to talk about the future. We can pull off this really neat trick using the present tense.
Notice how we divide these present tenses completely based on the concept of control. First, think about fixed, unchangeable public schedules. The present simple handles these effortlessly. Take the sentence, "The train leaves at 6 a.m." You, as an individual, cannot change the railway timetable. So it's a solid fact, treated as a simple present reality. But then, for personal, definite plans that we have arranged ourselves, we switch gears to the present continuous. She is meeting a client at 11. The meeting is happening in the future, sure, but the human arrangement, the blocked calendar, the confirmed emails, that is so firmly set right now in the present that we use the continuous tense to describe it.
Okay, Section 3, the future in progress. We are moving much deeper into the time travel matrix now. Welcome to the future continuous tense. This tense is strictly reserved for actions that will be right in the middle of happening at a specific pinpointed moment in the future. Beach mein hone wale actions.
Paint this cozy picture in your mind. It's tonight. You are super comfortable on the couch, wrapped in a blanket, popcorn in hand, right in the middle of the climax of your favorite show. You are completely absorbed in the process of watching. That is the longer, ongoing action. I will be watching TV. Then, suddenly, the lock clicks and the front door opens. That's the shorter, sudden action when she arrives.
The future continuous elegantly captures this exact dynamic, a longer, flowing action getting momentarily interrupted by a shorter, abrupt one.
And this brilliantly illustrates the concept. Let's do a flash forward to next Saturday afternoon to really lock this in. Picture your ideal weekend. At 1700 or 5 p.m., your glorious afternoon nap, your siesta, officially starts. At 1800, your alarm goes off and it ends. So, if a friend calls and asks what you were doing at exactly 1730, you tell them, I will be having a siesta. The sleeping started before that specific halfway point, and it will continue after that time. You are right in the thick of the action.
All right, Section 4, Perfecting the Future Tense. Tighten your seatbelts for this one. We are guiding our time machine to arguably the most complex, yet rewarding, part of our journey: completed futures and ongoing durations. Let's conquer these perfect tenses together.
So the future perfect is completely about looking backward from the future. Imagine projecting yourself to a point next month or next year and turning around to see what is already a done deal. There is a massive psychological emphasis on the final result here. Just imagine the pure relief you feel when you declare this in Hindi. Agle hafte is waqt tak, main apne sare exams khatam kar chuka hoonga. By this time next week, I will have finished all my exams. The grueling action of studying is done, dusted, and the result is total, glorious freedom. You are literally celebrating a future victory.
And here is the heavyweight champion of them all, the future perfect continuous. Think about an immigrant's grand journey. Let's say someone packed up their entire life and moved to the US exactly 8 years ago. They are living there right now, studying late into the night, pushing through challenges, and they will stubbornly continue doing so until a specific future milestone: graduating law school. We want to honor and emphasize that massive, unbroken duration building up right until graduation day. So we proudly say, when she finishes law school, she will have been living in the US for 8 years. It beautifully stitches the past, the present, and the future into one seamless, continuous narrative of pure dedication.
Finally, Section 5, the time clause golden rule. So, the crucial point is right here. We have arrived at our final destination, and I am about to share the single most critical grammar secret of this entire explainer session. If you remember absolutely only one thing today, please let it be this unshakable golden rule.
I really want you to take a permanent mental screenshot of these specific trigger words right now. When, after, before, as soon as, until. These are highly sensitive temporal triggers. Whenever you use these exact words to kick off a time clause, using the future tense is strictly forbidden. I mean it. It is a massive red light. No will allowed, absolutely no exceptions. It's a complete roadblock for future tenses trying to sneak their way in.
Let's look at a very common trap that trips up almost everyone. A lot of people naturally want to say, when you will arrive tonight, we will go out for dinner. I get it. It sounds logical, right? Because both actions are happening in the future. But remember our golden rule? Jab when aata hai, the will chutti pe chala jata hai. It literally goes on vacation. After when, the trustee's simple present steps in to save the day and do all the heavy lifting. So the perfectly correct way to say it is, when you arrive tonight, we will go out for dinner. The main action gets the will, but the time clause stays firmly rooted in the present. It's so simple, yet incredibly powerful if you want to sound like a native speaker. Well, we've reached the very end of our time travel itinerary today, and I want to leave you with a personal challenge. I want you to think deeply about your own timeline. Ask yourself right now, what will you have accomplished by this time next year? Use that mighty future perfect tense we just mastered. Clearly visualize your amazing results, and start planning that roadmap today. Aaj ke liye bas itna hi. That's all for today. Keep practicing, keep time traveling with your words, and I'll see you in our next explainer session. Alvida.